We start off with the new petrol price that's causing lots of challenges for a lot of people. This has now led to over 1,000 naira per litre. In Abuja, NNPC retail stations raised fuel price to 1,030 naira per litre from the 897 naira per litre it was earlier sold for. And in Lagos, it's pegged at 998 naira to a litre from the earlier 897 naira per litre. Similar hikes were witnessed in other parts of the country, further compounding the economic situation as citizens lament the hardship. Now, the fuel price hike is the second in 1 month and represents about 14.8% or 133 naira to a litre rise. With this adjustment, and in less than 17 months, the price of fuel has risen by over 430% from May 29, 2023, when President Bola Tinubu took charge and announced a removal of fuel subsidy. The Nigeria Labour Congress and the organized private sector have called for the immediate reversal of the hike in the pump price of petrol. And the TUC is also saying that, look, there could be something much more better that could lead to the reduction of fuel price to the prices before Tinubu's government came into power. Well, is it safe to say that subsidy is fully gone with the full deregulation of the sector? Well, to help us understand the issues, we have joining us in the studio Special Assistant to the President on Public Affairs, Audu, who will help us hear the government's angle on the calls for the reversal of this fuel price hike by the NLC and, of course, the TUC and others saying that there could be a better way out of the crisis. Thank you so much, Aliu, for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Well, I don't know when last you've been to the market, but with this fuel price hike, including transportation, lots of Nigerians have really been hit. And your president's wife, the first lady of the country, actually says that this hardship didn't start with this government. So people should have some form of understanding with the government. But of course, you would have seen the percentage increase, and people are saying that there could be a better way out. While the NNPC says it's no longer going to be dealing with playing its middleman role. People should be prepared to pay for the price that could actually lead to availability of fuel. Speak to us about this.
Yes, I mean, with the full deregulation of the sector, what this spells for us is gone are the days when different agencies, different people, different players, both in government and outside government, hide behind subsidy to steal from the common man. What should have actually really, in real sense, gone into critical sector like infrastructure, education, health. And what this, present is opportunity for government to really be up to the task that the government, is built to do, that is improve the welfare of the people. Now, we understand what the baseline is right now with removal of subsidy. And we are not going to move from a consumption economy to a productive economy if, we take loans to subsidize consumption, and do so in so opaque fashion that, corruption has now, really strengthened inefficiency at the different, sectors of our national life. It's regrettable, it's painful, but if we look back at what brought about the subsidy in petroleum product in the first place was, we realized that we missed the point along the way. And if we are going to get it right, if we want to truly have that nation, we can't, our resources are finite. And we have a population that keeps growing every second. The statistic has it that we increase in population by every 6 seconds. And whether we like it or not, the natural resources is depleting, and we can't provide for the increasing population if we remain an extractive, a company that depends on an extractive economy. We've got to add value, and to add value, we've got to encourage productivity, we've got to encourage efficiency, we've got to encourage competition in the sector, and that would translate into other sectors. And it's a difficult step to take, which explains why it hasn't been taken for a long time. But if we know the current president, if we know his antecedent, we understand that he believes in this country and he believes in our ability to change our own stories. And he knows it's going to come with some pain, and that's why he keeps saying that the pain isn't going to be forever.
All right, but the labor unions are saying that there could be better alternatives that could lead to cheaper petrol prices for Nigerians. The NLC actually gave a template that they could work together with the government in terms of foreign exchange and in terms of petrol supply to actually see how these prices can go down. Is the president speaking with them, including the NLC? That of the NLC, they are saying that they want a reversal, that this is not sustainable. And if the labor unions are speaking this way, does it mean that the government, alongside the NNPC, there's not been lots of consultation before we arrive at this decision?
The truth of the matter is we will have to go back to as many years as this particular topic has been on the table. I mean, there's quick reminder that this party, the APC, opposed, I mean, under there are various smaller parties before the merger in 2012 opposed removal of subsidy. But what most people don't, tell you is that the regulation itself is not just by removing subsidy, it's by enacting enabling law to govern the sector that makes it, a level that provide a level playing field for both local and international players to play, whether we like it or not. In this side of the market, in that sector of the market, to truly be successful, we do not have the capital required. We do not have the technical know-how required. We do not have the machineries and the technologies required. All of this will have to be brought in by foreign investors. And if foreign investors know that they come in, like we had before the coming of this government, invest their hard-earned currency, and when they make whatever profit they make and it's time for them to take out, they are unable to do that, they won't come. And if anybody understands that it is way cheaper to invest in bringing in fictitious volume of refined product than actually investing in refinery, you won't. I mean, remember far back as
but the labor union leaders are saying that there could be a better alternative to this current pricing, and that NNPC doesn't seem to be engaging. And of course, it looks like the government on its own part too has just left NNPC to just, go on the whole hog, and it's causing lots of pains for Nigerians because you are promised the average worker 70,000 naira. I mean, with this, people use 70,000 naira to fill their tank in a week.
I think the pressure has just shifted to the government, and before I talk about that, let's talk about the NLC. Let's remember that when PIA was signed, I think it was August 16, 2021, and it was expected that 6 months later, it would be, the sector will be fully deregulated. Same NLC unions, opposed it, and there was an 18 months gap that Mr. President, the then president, asked for. One would have thought that within that 18 months, from the 6 months to the 18 months, that's about 24 months, would have been enough, for a proactive union. Let's take it that the government, the last and the current, we're not doing anything proactive, would have come to tell to the government with a plan. We can't keep being reactive, even as unions. We got to a point where we were borrowing money just to subsidize crude. Then we borrow money to pay salary to keep government running. So it became a very funny excuse because nothing was going into our education system, nothing was going into health, nothing was happening in this sector. And the easy way to look at it, we're in capital city, and how many years later, you can't say our road with the neighboring states, are connected. And the farther you go from the capital city, the worse it is. We are never going to be that country we all know we can be. Look at the developed countries we run to. Look at the developed countries we look at.
Yeah, but they also provide subsidies. I know the European countries provide subsidies in agriculture. The US does that.
Now,
so how come, does it look like our own subsidy went into the wrong place, actually?
No, it's a different ballgame when you're subsidizing production than when you're subsidizing consumption. What they do is subsidize production. I mean, when you subsidize production, a lot of people troop into production, and at the end of the day, you find out that you have enough. The inflation we have currently isn't just because of the dollar. Let's put it, I mean, we can put the insecurity as part of the issue. Then we look at the recession we went through, then we look at the COVID. They all have impact. I mean, like other global economies are experiencing, they all have impact. But we are at a point where we have so much money. You know, we had waste and means that was in excess of 22 trillion over a period of 8 years. Where was the product assigned to it? Where was the service assigned to it? Then we have so much money chasing, you know, so little products that we're producing. And to make it even worse, we have different level of government using this money printed to buy, you know, dollars, which was actually, you know, printed and designed, attached to service and product by a different country to hoard. So instead of us using, you know, the idea of waste and means is to actually borrow money from your central bank, then invest in your economy to, you know, stimulate your productivity, stimulate growth in the economy so as to make whatever it is from levies, taxes, and all of that to be able to settle that back. But when this money are not put into production, you know,
okay, well, it's still the same APC government, I mean. So whatever happened, you can't run away from it.
No,
That's what Nigerians are saying. And even the president's wife's statement, people are saying that, look, you can't run away from it. It's the same political party. But your political opponents have been hitting hard at you. I mean, you would have read the tweet by Atiku where he called your principal T-Pain, calling President Bola Tinubu T-Pain. And just not long ago, we had Peter Obi, the presidential candidate of the 2023 presidential candidate of the Labour Party, actually saying, tweeting this, saying that the federal government has been engaging in wrong choices. These are his words. The NNPCL has once again raised the price of fuel without providing any explanation. This is both unfortunate and insensitive, considering the wide-ranging negative consequences of our economy, of our economic survival and well-being. And this is neither how an economy's resources should be managed nor how a nation should be governed. That is actually a hit against President Tinubu, saying that he seems to be getting the economic indices wrong.
I think we're at a point where, you know, it is simple to say that talk is cheap. And on the flip side, we are a very educated nation, but we do not apply, you know, knowledge. We do not apply. I mean, little wonder why our tertiary institutions are not able to, you know, invest in production. I mean, we have people, we churn out doctors, PhD holders, professors everywhere, but no sector. You know, we've not been able to actually translate research work into the actual solution, solving societal issues, as you see in developed countries, you know, where focus is paid on actually transferring this knowledge, applying this knowledge to solve. You know, the very essence of education is to be able to acquire knowledge to solve human issues, you know, the one that we're going through and the one that we're going to have. It is very easy for these two presidential candidates to say what they've said because they are not on seat. But let's remember that both of them promised to deal decisively from day one with subsidy by removing it. I mean, some of them even called it fraud. You know, how they were going to deal with it, you know, was never asked. So what they should tell the Nigerian voters going forward, both to our party or to any other party or any other politician.
Election season, so
exactly.
I mean, you are in government now. I mean, maybe in 2027.
Yeah. So what I'm basically saying is, it is very important to now move, you know, our campaign from just mere talk of I am going to do this to this is how I am going to do this. We need to start.
So now, how is the government addressing this issue? Now, if you've removed this and the NLC saying that, look, there could be a better way out, the same with TUC and then other critics, what exactly do we expect to see in the next maybe 6 months, 1 year due to this? Aren't we also going to be faced with another petrol increase? Because some people are saying that it may actually get up to 2,000 naira per litre or even more.
Those are speculations. However, you know, knowing that the government does not control the international market price of, I mean, the crude oil is controlled internationally, and with the embrace of globalization, there is little you can do from your corner when you are playing in a global field. So what we can do is to look at the variables that are under our control and make that available. And that's what Mr. President has done with the presidential initiative on compressed natural gas. it presents to us an opportunity to create jobs, create, apply technology, apply innovation, and open up a new way of energy. And in this case, it is not only cheaper, it is safer, and it is cleaner to the environment. And we have gas in excess. So it is not going to be subjected to international market. It simply means we are going to have to embrace a different means. And to make this easy to reduce the impact it has on standard of living for the common man, President is, the presidential initiative is going through converting for commercial drivers, commercial transportation, free of charge, so as to just have this transfer to the final users. And there's just been a new incentives that's been rolled out as to private car owners to register their cars to convert and pay later, like have a payment system for conversion. At the end of the day, on a weekly basis, you save yourself by using compressed natural gas about 60%, which means your 6-month payment, will easily be covered within that period that you're going to save it for them. We know we are using cleaner fuel. It's going to be more stable, and we can now hold government accountable for all of the functions of government.
Well, as we try to round up this chat, let's talk about the economic impact. Lots of people have, seen life becoming unbearable for them. Are there any ways to actually see how citizens could actually fare much better under this deregulated economy? Because the impact of this petrol price hike on other goods and services is just super high. And people are wondering if indeed they could actually still live in the cities. Because some people are already planning to actually relocate from Abuja, Lagos, Port Harcourt back to their villages. But they say insecurity is also affecting them.
There's been a lot of improvement in security. So with the savings from subsidy removal, we expect that government has a lot more resources available now to put more into security, a lot more resources to put into infrastructure development, a lot more to put into agriculture, a lot more to put into social welfare programs, to put into health, into education. In any economy like this, when you're moving from where we currently are, from just being an extractive economy to knowledge-based economy, a lot has to be invested into human capital development, into capacity building. And if you look at all of the lined up programs of Mr. President, they are targeted in this direction. So what it is what makes life living isn't just, even the developed countries, it's not keeping the price of things cheap. It's making it affordable in such a way that you create jobs, and people are able to afford.
And with the initiatives, should Nigerians be expecting jobs in the next 6 months?
Oh, yes.
1 year? That's what people are asking. People need timelines. Because before you know it, next year we'll be heading into 2027 elections. Campaigns begin in one way or the other.
No, within 6 to 12 months, we expect changes to happen. The agriculture, it's already taking shape, and from the macro economic variables, you see that the non-oil sectors are picking up. So we expect with the full deregulation, full attention is going to be, given to those areas. And governments at different levels, local, state, and national level, can now be held accountable for what they actually do with this excess and extra revenue being generated.
We must thank you so much. Aliyu Audu is a special assistant on public affairs to President Bola Tinubu, and we must thank you immensely for helping us to understand and put proper perspectives. And we hope the conversation continues with the labor unions on looking, for better ways to resolve some of these issues so that we do not crumble the economy.